You'd think with Celtic and Rangers being divided by 3 divisions there'd be a little bit of peace and harmony. But as we've discovered in today's Daily Record, the rivalry is as fierce as ever. Neil Lennon has actually banned himself from talking about his old rivals, and it's time to find out more in today's Back Page Monday on the 14th of January. So Neil Lennon isn't overly pleased with Charles Green this morning, Hugh, and this kind of goes back to the Rangers chief executive comments last week, doesn't it?
Celtic and Rangers will always argue and bicker in this way. We've got an unprecedented situation on our hands, Gregor, where Rangers are attempting either to move up a division or get out of this country altogether. Peter Lawwell speaks about Rangers' situation, Neil Lennon speaks about it, Charles Green speaks about Celtic. No great harm done.
I mean, the main issue is the league reconstruction. I noticed Keith and also Murdo offering their views on that this week as well.
I'm not sure that this is going to go through. I don't think that 12-12-18 has struck a positive chord with the public. It's the first time in all of the reconstruction changes that have taken place in the last 30 years that I can remember a plan being universally panned before it's even off the drawing board. I think Neil Doncaster, Stuart Regan and David Longmuir made a mistake last week in going before the press while not having all the answers. They came across as unconvincing. The plan comes across as not having been thought through, and I'm not sure this one's crossing the line.
It could be a good thing as well, couldn't it? Because as you said, nobody really wants this plan to go through, and if it was to be stopped one way or another, it would be probably for the better.
The SPL clubs meet on the 28th of January. I am convinced that between now and then, someone will break ranks and publicly disown this plan. It takes 8 SFL clubs to scupper the idea. That's a possibility as well. I know that there are people who are positive about it. Peter Lawwell is one. Neil Lennon has backed his chief executive, as you'd expect him to do. But the majority of clubs, I think, are against the idea. And if the paying public don't want it, then why should we have it?
The Scottish Football League really was the place to be for games at the weekend when no SPL matches on, and there was a little bit of history made at Ibrox as well, Hugh.
Was there to see it, and I'm grateful to Lorraine Clark for all her help for the Daily Record since her appointment became known. There was no controversy in the match. She handled herself well, and Stephen McLean, the referee, looked after her too. She says today in the paper that she hopes that she is an inspiration to other ladies to get involved in the sport.
This is somebody who's really there on merit as well, and they've managed to build a really good reputation for themselves at junior level as well, which isn't always the easiest environment to sort of learn your trade in.
Well, who among us would have liked to have gone from Hillabeath versus Bonnyrigg Rose one Saturday to Rangers versus Berwick Rangers the following Saturday, from a crowd of 200 to a crowd of 45,000, so she did exceptionally well.
Now, as we mentioned there, obviously the Football League was the place for the games, and a couple of shock results in that first division as well.
The one that fascinates me is Ian Murray at Dumbarton, because he's already beaten Partick Thistle at the weekend, he's beaten Morton, and he is in a position now where he's going to get Dumbarton off the foot of the table. And how far does he have to climb? He's made an astonishing start to management, and it's the one division where there's a lot of interest. Look for John Collins, Gareth Evans and Livingston coming up on the rails. They have 3 games in hand over Morton, who are top at the moment, and if Livingston were to win all those 3 games in hand, they'd be just 3 points behind the leaders. So it's a fascinating division. It
really is. It's one that deserves its reputation as one of the tightest in Europe. But
yeah.
Hugh, thanks very much for joining us today, and we'll see you back here this time next week.
My pleasure.